Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30 this Wednesday, July 16th, and market is recovering nicely. After that crazy stuff happening middle of the day when the rumor of Powell's firing was flying around, that I guess was it, driving this back and forth like crazy. Finally, Trump came out and said he's not going to do it, and market calmed down, and there you go. So backs kind of scratching back to the long side of the market. So market is trying to trade higher. And we should just kind of trade it in that direction. We started off range bound today. We are right in this lower range. So at this point, going into the afternoon, late in the session, the strength we're seeing, if they hold above the 6,300 now, it's this morning I said 6,315, and that's still the one I'm going to change my bias to the long side. But if you're on the long side now, looking at them drifting back up into the 15s, that would not be, that could be a potential trade. It's late in the session, so you never know how far and how fast it's going to go. But it's right now, it looks to me like it's just drifting higher. So we'll see how end period develops. But if they start extending, I would just stay on the long side if you feel like you need to trade and see if they can retest the 15s here. If as long as they hold below 15s, I'm going to start off pretty much range bound. I'm just going to look for early strength, see if they can retest that level. If they take it out, we're going to lean long. If they back off, we're just going to stay range bound. So I don't think we're going to see a massive sell-off into the close at this point. So that's how we get started in the overnight. So looking for early strength, see if you can retest the 15th. If they take it out, we switch into the long side going into the overnight. If not, we're just looking for short setups against the 15s. At this point, could be a short setup setting up right now at the 6,300s because they're right there. So it could be a short trade. That would be something you have to deal with right now if you want to do that. But going into the late in the session, slow. It's not a huge amount of volume, but it's enough volume. There's above a million traded, so it's decent sized volume. That's most likely because of that crazy stuff happening in the middle of the day. And then news for tomorrow. We got some stuff coming out tomorrow. At 8:30, we get jobless claims and retail sales. Philly Fed manufacturing, import-export prices. 10 o'clock, we get business inventories and housing market index. Still earnings season, so there may be earnings coming out after the close. And let's see here. That's about it. So we'll see how that goes. But we have also some bill announcements, 6 week, 6 month bills, 10-year tips announcement, all that stuff coming out tomorrow as well. So anyway, that's how we get started to the overnight. Looking slight bias to the upside or range bound, but looking for early strength. The best way to say it. So we look like they're trying to take it higher. So looking at that early strength, still looking for shorts against the 6,300 and the 6,315s for failure to take those out. But if they take out the 15s, they'll stay on the long side. All right. And a fair amount of news happening tomorrow morning, so that's going to be interesting. Looking at the bonds and the NASDAQ, bond market is just range bound. They're right back to value. So I would just start off range bound. We have a pretty good range for the bond market to start with. Look for shorts up to 112.24. Look to buy all the way down to 113.14. So that's the range right now. And that's a pretty good day range to work with. So we'll leave it at that. So we're right in the middle of that. Start off range bound. Just fade those edges back to the mean around about the 112s. On the Nasdaq, same story as the ES. Nice move, nice crazy stuff happening in the middle of the day. So far, a nice grind to the upside. Again, see like slow grind and then slow grind to the. It's like slow motion moving stuff, but it's still moving. And so far, it looks like they're up here against that 23,080. So watch that level. They take that out going into the close. We're going to be on the long side of this, but that's the upper level we had, I believe. Yep, that's the upper level. And if they can't take out the 80s, so we're looking for short up here still. But if they can't take it out, we'll probably look for retracement back down again. So starting off, same as the ES, looking for early strength, see if they can take out resistance. If not, looking for rotation back down into this lower range. So that's where we have it. All right, looking at finally wrapping up gold and oil. And gold is just pretty much in the range right now. They were popping pretty good for a while. They were down this morning, then they popped pretty good all the way up here to the 33.82s, and then all the way back down again after they can run out of gas. So there you have it. So we are back range bound on gold. I would look to sell strength 60s and 60s, 60 nines up to the 75s and probably up to this edge at the 80s now. For rotations back down, we're going to buy against support. 49s, 39s. Probably going to adjust these so this becomes one edge around the 27 to 30s here for rotations back up again. But that's where we have it on gold. So, and then finally oil. Yes, range bound. They were down in the overnight. A little bit of weakness at the start, but then back up again and pretty much holding in that overall range. So I'm not having focused a lot of oil. It's not there's not much happening there. Just waiting for them to really start to trend to the downside when they're ready to do that. All right, so range bound oil at this point, we're going to watch these edges on oil. We basically have these upper 68.30 to 69 up these upper areas of resistance. Above that one, we may have a move to the upside. Then, of course, below 64. So between 64s and the 69s is the general range, and we are pretty much in the middle of it. So yeah, start off range bound. If anything, maybe look for early weakness to see if you can retest these lows and potentially take it lower, which means that you want to look for shorts against the 66.80s and the 67.15s, but I wouldn't be super aggressive on that stuff. It's just fade it, just start off range bound and see, and just look for short setups against resistance and look for long opportunities against support, as long as you stay in that range. And that's the 64 to 69 range. All right, so that's all range bound gold. Back to the ES, and as I said, the only trade I took was on a Nasdaq earlier on today. And then when the crazy shit started happening, I stopped trading. Just kind of sat on the sidelines, and we had one nice run up here from the mean up to a little bit higher up in this level. But since then, it's been, as you can see, it's just been just grinding sideways, slight bias to the upside. So this is difficult to trade. So I was looking for something around the 2 o'clock hour, but as you can see, that just grinded through. There was nothing happening. Nice little slow grind to the upside after that, but nothing which got you excited, right? So that's it. So no trades on the ES, just one trade on the Nasdaq, so up $9 on that trade. So that's it. We'll wrap it there for now, guys, and I will see you back bright and early in the morning. Go at this again, and we got some interesting news in the morning tomorrow: jobless claims and retail sales. Ready, guys? We'll leave it there. See you in the morning. Later.